Welcome to Crypto Bytes, the podcast where we find the news and information in the crypto world and break it down into bite-sized chunks. I'm your host, Nick.
This is Robert.
And we need to stress this is not financial advice, nor should you take anything we're saying super serious, but take it with a grain of salt.
And remember, guys, hit that like, smash that subscribe button, just like you smashed your Xbox controller in Warzone last night. And if you'd like to support us, here's our QR code where you can send us crypto.
Thank you. So in today's news, you've seen what's going on in the UFC?
Huge news there. Huge news. Crypto.com struck the biggest sponsorship deal in UFC history. $175 million over 10 years.
Oh, probably one of the biggest sponsorship deals involving crypto, period.
They're going to have their logo, well, if you've already seen it, at the weigh-in, front and center on the fighter's chest. They're going to be part of their fight kit, so on the trunks, pretty sure around the ring as well. And they're going to get their own spot in between the main fights.
So I know that... I know there's a UFC fight coming up here, a McGregor fight. Do you think a fight like that, you're going to see anything with Crypto.com on there this early?
Oh, it's already happening. They were at the weigh-in.
Oh, yeah?
They're all the gear is already printed with Crypto.com. It's huge. It's huge. And Dana White, he's been interested in crypto for a long while now.
Okay.
And he's getting in bed with Crypto.com because of, I would say, the age group that crypto has right now. It's a pretty younger age group. Mid to younger 20s, if not just maybe in the mid 30s, millennials.
No, probably because it's become so easy to trade crypto with just a simple app on your phone.
So they're really trying to get that younger audience to go into the UFC and start watching the fights, which is huge. We've already had celebrity endorsements for cryptocurrencies, so you already see this adoption phase that's happening.
You know, I agree with you on that, but there's something you really have to be careful about when you're talking about celebrity endorsement. I mean, you don't want to look at something like what happened to FaZe Clan and how, they got really into deep trouble for having to pump up a coin and then back out.
Yeah, but those are like shit coins. I mean, that's what happened with McAfee, right? But these are
Rest
more
in peace.
These are more mainstream companies that are like legit registered companies that have a crypto there. They have a trading platform. It's getting more legitimate is what I'm trying to say with these endorsements with big sporting events.
Well, I know that this is the first. So we see Crypto.com, but as far as I understand, Crypto.com is no different than something like a Binance or a Coinbase.
Correct. Coinbase, it's probably the number one app that people have to buy and trade crypto. It's the one. It's an OG from 2014.
You know, that's a good point, and it's pretty highly recognizable. I know myself personally, I purchased a few coin from there from Coinbase, and then near immediately transferred it to my own personal wallet.
Yeah, so there are other platforms out there, and they do need to advertise to get the eyeballs on their system.
Well, let's talk more about advertising. So we see this happening in the UFC. What do you think this potential could be? Let's say something even bigger. So the World Cup's coming up here. I think it's next year. Do you think we're going to see some massive crypto advertisements there at the World Cup?
Possibly. I'm not sure if they're going to be at the venues, but definitely outside of the venues. We might be able to see billboards or people with
Come on,
flashy lights.
You really think it's going to be just limited to billboards? I personally,
planes flying in the sky.
I think you're going to see these people on the pitch, and you're going to see those screens on the side, and it's just going to be screaming Crypto.com, Crypto.com. World Cup 2022.
Possibly.
Mark my words.
Possibly. But there are issues with certain platforms. Let's say.
Oh, what? Like Binance US?
Yes, Binance. And not just Binance US. That's like a whole issue in itself, but Binance in general.
So what have you heard in regard to this? And mind you, everything will be referenced. Links in the description below.
Yeah, so there's a lot of countries. There's a few countries right now, but there's going to be more that I feel like they're going to follow in suit. They're cracking down on Binance. They're starting to restrict people within certain countries access to the platform.
Meaning what? Like they're not going to be able to go in and actually purchase any of this cryptocurrency?
Correct. And also you're not going to be able to withdraw from Binance as well. We're
So
already seeing that happening.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, someone living in one of these countries, say like Singapore or possibly the UK,
Yep, that's what's happening.
I purchase, let's say a Bitcoin, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great. If they lock this down, can I not get access to my Bitcoin if it's still in Binance?
Nope, it's stuck there, and they've done it before. They've stopped withdrawals. People have lost money. There's money locked on their platform, and it just brings this giant like suspicion on what Binance is. The Chinese government doesn't like Binance. They're not located in China. Think of them as a pirate ship out in the middle of the ocean, broadcasting out their services, and like there's nothing backing them. There's no recourse if your coins get stolen. If there's a shit coin out there, which there's a whole bunch of shit coins on the Binance.
Oh, you mean like
system.
if another coin pulls what they did to Mark Cuban?
A rug pull, a lot of rug pulls on the Binance Smart Chain system. Yeah. There's no recourse to get out of them. They're just out there in the middle of the ocean of what is the internet, and no one knows where to locate them.
So when we're talking about Binance, obviously, if something like this were to happen, I'm sure people still have the capability of downloading something like a VPN to get access to their account. And I think it's worthwhile to mention not your keys, not your coin. If you're going to be purchasing any kind of cryptocurrency on any of these exchanges, I highly recommend you take that crypto off of that exchange and you send it to your own personal wallet.
Preferably a hardware wallet.
Yeah, preferably Ledger, Trezos, but whatever something that you have control of. Realistically, your wallet, I mean, if you can go full Winter Soldier, remember the 1724 words, and the wallet's in your memory forever, you don't need to keep anything. You just need to sit down and Winter Soldier yourself. Green, flower, 17, Eiffel Tower. You know?
Yeah, or just stay off of Binance, even though those coins are with their yield farming and there's potential for these things to moon. It's very enticing for these, I guess, new people get into the crypto game to get sucked into that because they're not aware what happened during the 2017 or even before that.
Well, when you say getting sucked into it, I think you probably are mentioning when you're on Binance getting into the crypto game, you don't have to worry about stuff like the giant wall to entry that something like Bitcoin presents you with its 30K amount or more. When you see something like, SafeMoon or something much smaller there that you can buy up and hopefully this thing will explode one day.
Yeah, and that's just due to their lack of knowledge. They see this price tag on Bitcoin, 33,000, 34,000, whatever it is at the time of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand they can buy Satoshis, fractions of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, fractals. I mean, I know many of people that are cost averaging in, spending as little as $50 every month or whatever they can really afford just to purchase Satoshis.
So it's like, I can't afford one whole Bitcoin, but I can afford a whole bunch of these Dogecoins.
Yeah, that does seem pretty ridiculous.
It's just due to lack of education on the crypto space for these new people coming in here.
Well, when we're talking about the crypto space, beyond just getting the coins, you see a lot of these companies that are out there that are trying to build complete entities on this crypto market, like DeFi space.
Yeah. If anyone is aware, Ethereum has a high network fee on their systems when it comes to these DeFi tokens.
Well, what exactly? Let's actually back up one step. I'm using these words in the crypto space like DeFi, but what exactly is DeFi when it comes to cryptocurrency?
Well, it's this fancy term for decentralized finance, which it's outside of a bank. There's either exchanges or these swap mechanics that you can do, and you can gain interest on your coins over time.
Oh, so it sounds like you're saying it allows me to use this cryptocurrency and then do sort of like financial transactions, loans, or potentially actually purchasing something outright with crypto.
Exactly. Yeah. So Bitcoin was there was only one at the time, one cryptocurrency that was Bitcoin, and everyone wanted to put their whole ideas into what Bitcoin, and we saw these different forks happening, and then the evolution of ICOs, and then now with Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum smart contracts, anyone can create their own coin with these tokenomics and how they function and how they work.
There are a lot of, and for lack of a better word, shit coins out there that seem to not do anything.
They do one thing. They extract people's money away from them.
Oh, the old pump and dump, the Doge
pump
game.
And dump, the rug pull, they entice you with fancy high yield percentages, just like Mark Cuban did, and then the liquidity dries up and these things go plummeting to the center of the earth.
So I'm going to kind of take us back a little bit here and talk about that crypto.com thing. I don't know if you have been watching any of the television or any of these streaming services that have been giving advertisements, but I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for something called like a crypto.com Visa card.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research into this crypto.com Visa card and what's going on. And I discovered that, just in 2021 alone, $1 billion of transactions done just using the crypto.com card.
Yeah. So, I mean, how are these people who got into the game early going to spend their Bitcoin?
Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Right? You swipe your card and there you go. You liquidate your Bitcoin. Visa gets part of the transaction fee for that thing. It's sort of a win-win situation here.
But how are these cards actually working? I unfortunately for me, I'm not very familiar with how a fiat credit card is going to work. How is this any different, the blockchain card versus one of these other credit cards that I can get my hands on?
Well, let's just start with the traditional credit card, right? You sign up, you get certain credit line, and then there's these bells and whistles with like promotional offers, or you get 2x at gas stations or 5x at grocery stores, whatever it is. We might be seeing similar programs for a cryptocurrency Visa card.
Well, I mean, who is this card actually marketed to? Because I know, you have Apple's card, right? What's the crypto card marketed to? And there's tiers to this, obviously.
Well, they're obviously marketed towards millennials who have cryptocurrency, namely Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is the coin that you can use this card with, and it's to spend anywhere Visa's accepted.
It gives me real hope. Maybe it is just crypto.com on a card, and it could be just like an advertisement thing. But I'd really like to see crypto being used in the world as a viable means, like kind of what they're trying to do with Cardano over in Africa, using the blockchain to store actual information for people, work history, education history, something practical world use beyond people paying money to an exchange, holding a coin, and then selling it later for more money.
Yeah, I mean, it should be used in a means of transacting between people.
So I've been doing a fair amount of research on these smart contracts and NFTs and things like that. And unfortunately, the conversation that needs to be had are gas fees.
Yeah, just like I mentioned, Ethereum has ginormous gas fees, especially if you're doing these swaps. If you have like $20 worth of this token, but you have like 8,000 of them, you're going to spend $20 to $30 swiping it for USDC or whatever stable coin is on these contracts. So it eats up whatever you think that you're going to be making.
It almost seems unnecessary. There has to be a better way.
Yeah, and it's at this point right now where Charles Hoskinson, the main guy behind Cardano, he's essentially a living meme right now.
The living meme.
He's a living meme on what kind of a ghost chain is, or failure to deliver. I know recently he was teased on Twitter about his post from 1 year ago saying by this time next year, Cardano will have smart contracts and we'll be doing all these financial transactions on it. Well, I mean, Goguen still isn't out yet. Their smart contracts isn't slated to be released until end of August, which is funny in itself because he said September.
Well, for me, this is how I see it. Everything's peer reviewed. There's a real team behind the Cardano ecosystem, and if it means that the smart contract and Goguen and Plutus goes live and it goes smooth, then I'm all for it. almost immediately, if smart contracts through Cardano work out the way that I'm hoping, and I'm sure that they're hoping as well, we're looking at an immediate drop in gas fees for everyone and a completely new ecosystem that can run a lot of what's happening now on the Ethereum network natively without needing wrappers.
They do have a converter where projects on Ethereum can just copy and paste their code into Cardano and have their project move over seamlessly.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that once smart contracts go live for something like Cardano, which has real high hopes of being very, very efficient, seeing as Charles Hoskinson's the mind behind it, do you think that a lot of people are going to want to migrate over to Cardano, knowing that there's an ERC20 converter, or do you think they'll even want to program on there? Do you think people will want to move?
Oh yeah. I mean, the economics alone for what your project can save on in terms of gas fees and your user base, it's cheaper just to trade on Cardano than it is right now on Ethereum. And Ethereum 2.0 still doesn't even have a ship date yet. It's just this, we just wait for Ethereum 2.0. It hasn't even arrived yet. Cardano is Ethereum 2.0.
Well, you know that you're probably not wrong. I know that I've invested a serious amount of time researching alternative cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin at this point. And Cardano does seem very promising. But as I know, you probably know, they're not the only blockchain out there that is trying to make a name for themselves and state that they can do all of these things.
But it is a sleeper out there. It's been generating more and more social media attention. You have Grayscale adding Cardano as a 4% weighting to their large cap fund. Mm-hmm. So it goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and then Litecoin, like not even 1%, and then another coin after that. So you're seeing these big players moving around Cardano. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're the source of the memes that get people away from Cardano, like a psyop. But Cardano is a sleeper, and it can easily get to $5-10 after smart contracts are launched, if not higher.
You know, that's actually exciting news.
Yeah. I mean, just the economic transactions or the economics that happen on that smart chain alone is enough to propel it into the $10.
Now for NFT news with Keys. What's going on, Keys?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, man. Thanks for asking. No one really does anymore. So NFTs, great thing that the cryptocurrency world has brought to us. Non-fungible tokens. The ability to mint and create something and store it on the blockchain essentially forever. Decentralized.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I think the biggest thing about the NFT stuff is it's really giving small digital artists the power that you don't really see anymore in art. I mean, if you want to be an artist, you kind of have to be a Picasso style to make the money, or a Banksy, and do crazy things and be ahead of, the art world. But now you're seeing a lot of digital art come up. And so I think it's kind of cool the way that they're able to do things. I mean, obviously the Ethereum network's been doing stuff via like Foundation or Nifty Gateway is another NFT site. Another site is HEN, or Hic et Nunc, meaning here and now. That runs on the Tezos network. And recently it actually got hacked, or quote unquote hacked. The hacking was mostly an exploitation of a flaw in smart contracts.
Okay.
Basically allowing people to steal an artist's work and pushing out other collectors from actually being able to collect. And obviously that's a problem.
Well, I mean, I think that actually translates into something even beyond NFTs, like transactions in general on certain blockchains. But that's actually pretty rough.
But yeah, so during the cancellation, or like during the hacking or whatever, basically they moved to bidding. So you had to bid on an art, and it was usually one of one, instead of the way they used to do it on HEN would be you can mint one of 1,000,
right,
one of 600, or one of 5 if you wanted. And being on Tezos, it was cheaper, so you actually saw a big boom of NFT sales solely because of HEN. I mean, I know I started collecting like crazy there because I didn't have to spend a full ETH on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, instead of spending $2,000 on art, I could spend $7. So yeah, a lot of people did it. And so once they were able to fix the issue, they did move over V2. They added V2 swapping. So if an artist has their art on HEN and it was under V1, they can swap it to V2 and it can be sold now in multiple editions because they did handle the flaw in the smart contract.
The dangers that come with new technologies. People will attempt to hack. People will attempt to steal and take everything. But that already exists in the industry. That's why NFTs are here. The stealing, the taking of everything. Those poor artists.
Yeah, definitely. Some other news too. I mean, NFT Oasis is another NFT place. It just raised $4.4 million to help metaverse creators utilize VR technology.
Oh.
I don't know if you know, but there's been some websites called Crypto Voxel, which
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically a website. It's in VR. You can put on a headset or you can just do it on your phone and walk around in a digital art gallery. And people have been hosting stuff. There's this guy named I am Not Art. He actually just opened a physical Chicago location for NFT art display. So it's an NFT art gallery in Chicago.
Okay.
He's not paying us. I just love the idea. But yeah, so it's really cool that they have these metaverse art galleries. I'm actually a part of one. It's called Purple World, which is cool. So it's like this whole like filter that you can put on and take pictures and does all this stuff. I bought one of the NFTs and now I even got a tour from the guy who created it. It's actually really cool. So Crypto Voxels, shout out to them for doing, digital art galleries because it's really giving a lot of smaller artists, a chance to have their stuff even viewed in galleries because a lot of that's really hard to do, or you got to do a whole collection of stuff. And I know some people have, some of my art that I own has been put on Crypto Voxels, of the NFTs that I've purchased.
I can tell you this too, from the small artist perspective. You also have a variety of medium that wasn't readily available to be sold as easily before. So, for example, these artists that are really good with graphic design and making short little, maybe like GIF files or animated little films, you can put these MP4s, these GIFs on the blockchain and create NFTs out of these as well.
Correct.
And sell your work in that regard. I personally am really excited to see the future of NFTs, more specifically in the music industry. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, it's crazy is one of the guys I follow on Twitter and I collect from, Robert Monroe. Shout out. Yeah, he does. He's one of the few people that does musical NFTs. That's not a huge multi-million-dollar artist or DJ or something. That's like because there's a few of those on Nifty Gateway, like Blau. DJ and producer. He's sold millions in NFT art that has music. A few months ago, he did a drop that if you paid the $2.5 million for the first place or whatever it was, you got lifetime. As long as you hold on to the NFT, you got lifetime backstage artist passes to any show in the world that he's doing.
Musicians, do you hear that? NFTs, give an NFT out, maybe, small number to the beginning, few initial fans, backstage passes.
Well, and the cool thing about that too is if the person who holds that decides to sell it, well, the new person now has lifetime passes.
The beauty of smart contracts.
Exactly. So it's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the NFT world. I mean, it's kind of slowed down recently. There's been some articles. I read an article recently. I kind of called BS on it. It was basically saying our NFT's dead, and it really just was calculating the transactions on the Ethereum network in the last month, and NFT sales dropped 90%. But a lot of people in the last month have been going to HEN because I mean that NFT site's been only up for probably 3-4 months. And it's been doing millions and millions of dollars in transactions. So it's like a lot of people now can afford the NFTs. So, I think the article really was kind of touching base on some things. And I think there's some things that the NFT community can work on. But yeah, it was kind of interesting that they're already trying to say NFTs are dead when NFTs literally in the last 2-3 months have just started blowing up.
You know, don't let them discourage you guys, especially you artists out there pushing the NFTs out. In fact, huge shout out to all you artists out there, especially the ones that are trying to push the work out to be seen for potentially the first time. Reach out to us. You know, we'd be more than happy to showcase some of your work here on the show. But that's it for us today. We're Crypto Bytes. Have a good night, guys.